So thank you everyone for joining. We have Daniel Griffith here today from Decisis. But before we get there, I just want to go over a couple of items of current business for the Maine State Bar Association. So as you can see on the slide, dues renewal is now open. I have not renewed yet, so I'm a scufflaw, but please renew as soon as possible. I want to focus on the second bullet here because nominating petitions for the Board of Governors are currently open. And we have a number of open seats. I can't seem to leave my screen right now. I'll come back to that later because I want to actually go through the open seats in case there are people on the line who would be interested in participating. Angela, would you mind saying a couple things about Hit the Links? I haven't been as close to the programming for that. This is an upcoming golf tournament at Augusta Country Club.
Yeah, and we've partnered with the Maine Society for CPAs and the Maine Medical Association. It's really just to put Maine professionals together in a fun setting. A lot of you all work together or at one point or another, so we thought that would be fun. And we have a $10,000 prize for a hole-in-one. It's really just to be a good time. It's not really it's not to make money or do anything like that. It's just to have fun. And it is on October 3rd. We have several teams already signed up. We've got some sponsors, and I think it'll be great. I plan on playing.
Thank you, Angela. And a judicial branch announcement: the law court invites amicus briefs regarding right of an accused under Maine law and Maine Constitution to notice of right to counsel before being interrogated while in custody. Submission deadline is October 18th. So we have Dan Griffith here today. Dan, thank you for joining us. The MSBA has made a significant change in its member benefits. We are switching to a new provider of legal research tools. I had the opportunity to test Decisis for a couple of months this summer, and I'm really excited about it. I think it's a significant improvement on what we had in the past. It's extremely easy to use. It was my takeaway. I am a compliance attorney, so I spend all day with Westlaw and LexisNexis open on my computer. And so I'm a person who uses legal research tools all the time. I found this product to be incredibly refreshing in its simplicity and in ease, in how easy it is to use. So Dan, if you wouldn't mind, can you tell me just a little bit, tell our folks here a little bit about your background before we get into the nuts and bolts of Decisis, and maybe talk a little bit about the development of the product and other bar associations who have also made this switch.
Absolutely. Yeah. And thank you, Frank and Angela and everybody attending the call today for allowing me the opportunity to speak. So as Frank said, my name is Dan Griffith, and I do head business development for Decisis. I've been in this role for just over a year since Decisis was a little bit before launched into the market. Prior to working with Decisis, I did actually work at LexisNexis for 5 years prior to that. So in total, I have about 6 years of legal research experience working with both bar associations, law firms, and individual attorneys and legal researchers. As far as development of the product, Frank, you hit it on the head. Our goal, we were being asked, and attorneys and bar associations were seeking a legal research alternative that was very simple to use. One that really anybody could hop into, and as long as you're familiar with base level of research, you can hit the ground running. And that's exactly what we were able to accomplish. Angela, I believe in her announcement, had said that she felt like some of the feedback that she received was that it was Google-esque. And that's exactly what we were going for. While doing a lot of market research, we found that attorneys, even if they do have access to a LexisNexis or Westlaw, are starting their legal research in Google. So we wanted to provide that similar experience, similar digital experience for those practitioners who use Google on a regular basis. We are now partnered with 3 different state bar associations across the United States, Maine being the 3rd. The Ohio State Bar helped kind of bring us to market towards the end of last year. So since they have been with us the longest, about 10 months now, they have received very positive feedback. They had a very similar experience that the Maine State Bar had, and that they were previously offering CaseMaker. And then they actually were able to convert directly to Decisis from CaseMaker. So they didn't switch to FastCase and then CaseMaker, but they have received overall very positive feedback. And there's twice as many people using Decisis now than that previously used CaseMaker because of that simplicity. Earlier this year, the Nebraska State Bar Association also switched. And again, they were in a similar situation where they previously offered CaseMaker. They made a switch over to FastCase, and then now are using Decisis, and very similar feedback. We're receiving positive responses from their members that overall they're happy with the switch. So I say all of that to say, with the partnership, I know it's a lot for your members, switching legal research platforms twice within a year and a half. But we have experience with that, and we've worked with members, that have had that similar progression, and we've helped answer those questions and tackle those concerns. So if you have those, please bring them up to us. We're happy to help you in your legal research experience.
Thank you so much, Dan. And when we survey our members consistently, one of the top benefits that our members bring up that we offer is our legal research tool. So this is a big deal. We think it's going to be a significant improvement for all of you who are attending. And we've set up a number of trainings. And Dan, can you talk about the trainings that are taking place? Both, we're going to do a little quick training here today, but the trainings that are coming up later this month.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So we have held 6 trainings so far. So there's been about 200 members so far that have attended live trainings. But I will do a quick tutorial today, but these trainings are 1-hour CLE events, and we will be having more of those towards the end of this month and at the beginning of next month. We'll get those out likely on the website, so you can see exactly when those trainings are, and you can register to attend them. But what those trainings are, those are more in depth. What we'll do today is I'll give you a 10,000 foot view of what Decisis looks like. But those 1-hour long trainings are not only for a beginner researcher, but a little more intermediate as well. We'll go into different ways to search, whether a practitioner uses terms and connectors like Boolean style or natural language, or prefers to search by citation. All of those are covered in the more 1-hour CLE event. There's also time in those events for question and answers. So if you have a specific question about, hey, I use this resource, where do I find it on Decisis? We can answer that for you during those sessions.
And before we get into a little peek at Decisis here, Dan, one other thing I wanted to cover is the fact that there are there's legal research assistants that are available by phone. Can you explain to folks a little bit how that works?
Absolutely. Yeah, so we provide 7-day-a-week support, both by phone and by chat. And once we jump into the product, I'll show you exactly how to do that. But if you find yourself in a situation that you're doing legal research, even if it is on the weekend, there is assistance available if you have questions. That assistance is not only just technical support. So if you see like something's messing up on your screen, you can absolutely do that. but they also provide legal research support. So if you're just not sure what you need to research to find the specific cases that you're looking for, reach out to those support folks, and they can help you find those cases that are most important to your legal research needs.
And again, I think this is a big deal. And I encourage people to utilize that aspect of the service because it will save you time and it will make you more efficient, and you'll thank me later. So Dan, if you don't mind, let's take a look at Decisis.
Absolutely. Go ahead and share my screen here. Okay, are you able to see my screen? Okay, so I wanted to start by just showing how to access Decisis. So as of right now, you first go to Member Resources tab on the website and then click Decisis. And as soon as you do that, it'll single sign on, log you into the Decisis platform.
I just want to jump in and say that button up there for Access Fast Case will change. We're just waiting on our website developer to take care of that, and they're short-staffed like everybody, so it's taking a little longer than we'd hoped.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you, Angela. Also, maybe speaking on behalf of you, your members do have access to both platforms, correct? For the month of September, and then going live October 1st will be Decisis only. So this will be
Fast Case will end. Last day is September 30th. We wanted some overlap just in case.
Absolutely. Thank you. So yeah, so this will be a Decisis link. Again, as soon as you click it, it's going to bring you to the home page. This is what the Decisis homepage looks like for those of you who haven't seen it yet. I made mention earlier, it was Google-esque, so it was designed that way. You can probably tell already exactly how to get started on legal research by searching here in the box, just like you would on Google. But before we do that, I want to draw your attention down here to this chat feature. This is how you talk with somebody live. So I will go ahead and click on that just so you can see what that looks like. You see the hours down here in the bottom left corner, or Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., Saturday and Sunday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can chat with somebody live. If you prefer self-help, up here in the top right-hand corner is our help center. This help center, you can type in your question if you have one, but this does include popular articles. One of our most used one is these search operators. So if you want to really hone in on your legal research skills, this search operators article is by far the most popular, and it'll teach you how to do that. We also have some quick links in here, as well as some FAQs. So if you do want that phone number, you can go to contact us here. And then right here is the phone number if you prefer to talk with somebody versus chatting with them. So chatting sometimes is easier because they can send you specific searches that they did. They can copy and paste it into a chat function. But absolutely, if you prefer to speak with somebody, you can do that there. Going back to the home page here at the top right, you'll find your bookmarks and history, as well as that help center. And we'll talk about that here in just a minute. There's two main ways to conduct legal research on Decisis. You can either search for what you're looking for, or you can browse. So this will be, like I said, a quick overview, but we'll start in searching and just start typing in natural language a legal term. And you'll see that Decisis is smart enough to understand, hey, are you looking for maybe a specific document, or is this a legal phrase? And if so, here's maybe some other options that you may be looking for. On the right side, you'll see the most commonly used terms and connectors if you did want to dive into a Boolean style search. So we use ands and ors and quotation marks and everything that you would be used to seeing. Here on the right, you'll see that you can do this search, run it in cases, codes and court rules, regulations and registers, or agency decisions depending on specifically what you're looking for. And then you can also do a pre-search filter to hone into the state that you might be looking for. So we'll go ahead and select Maine, and we'll go ahead and include that in related federal content. So it's really grabbing everything. And we'll run the search. One thing you'll notice right away here at the top of the screen is that even though we ran the search in cases, it does come across all 4 of those areas. So you can, instead of having to go back through and run that search again in codes and court rules, this matches an attorney's workflow. You can see the relevant cases. You can jump over to the codes that mention it, and then even go into those regulations. But on the left side, before we dive into this, we'll look at the filters. So you can filter these search results, since there's over 4,400 of them, by additional keyword. That's just searching within the cases. You can search by court, by state, or by date range and collection. The most common one that we see used is this filtering by keyword, adding that additional search term within your search results. So we'll go ahead and add union as a search result and hit apply. And that narrows it down from over 4,400 to just over 1,100 cases. So opening up a case, you'll see right away as soon as you enter a case, this creates a split screen view. So this is actually something I believe that we do. I know I'm a little biased, but I think we do this maybe even a little better than Google, and that we allow you to see both your search results and what you're clicking into at the same time. So I've spoke with attorneys across the United States that have said that they use both Lexis and Westlaw, and they prefer to do just case law research here because of the speed to which they can do it. They can jump through the cases very quickly without having to open 50 tabs on their search screen. They can just quickly jump from one to the other. If you want to dive into a case, here on the top, you can see that we can expand this document. And then you'll also be able to see that within this document, we can run additional searches. So if you're looking for a specific term within this case, you can do that. You can also navigate by page number or by those terms that we have entered into not only our original search, but our secondary search as well. So we can see that, hey, union was mentioned 253 times. If this is a case that you need to access often, we suggest you bookmark it. So I mentioned in the very front, at the top right of the page, there were your bookmarks. This will allow you to get to this case much quicker if you bookmark it. You can also download the case and email it. Based on some feedback that we had received from your group, we're also adding the functionality to print directly from here. So it's not quite ready yet, but the steps to print as of right now are you are going to download the document and then print from the PDF. But eventually you'll see a 4th option here, and that'll be a printer, and you can just print the case directly. Diving into the case quickly, again, I know we're a little short on time, but this is our citator. It's the InterCite citator. As soon as you click into that, you're going to be able to see not only the negative citing decisions for a case, but all citing decisions. These all citing decisions, you do have the ability here on the left, once this pulls up, to filter. So obviously you see there's 7,700 citing decisions for this case. You can go ahead and narrow that down to really dive into what you're looking for. I'm going to jump back to the home.
I think users are really going to like the citator. I think it's the simplicity of it is very effective, I think.
Yeah, thank you. That we have received that feedback quite a bit. It's absolutely reliable, but it's also very easy to use. Quickly jumping back to the home page, I'd mentioned this before. What we just did was we ran a search across all content types. You can also browse specific content. In here, you can dive into what you want to browse for. So I'll leave it on codes and court rules right now and go ahead and select Maine. I'm going to include the related federal so I can see, again, everything that's applicable, and hit apply. If this is something that you search often, for example, if you access the case and majority of the time you're diving into the revised statutes, go ahead and set this as your default catalog. That way, every time you log into Decisis and click Browse Specific Legal Content, it's going to bring you right here to this page. This is going to be a big time saver overall. If you prefer to run a search across the content types, you can select, revised statutes. Maybe you want to search in the Constitution as well, and you can run a search here, and that's going to narrow that search just to those collections. You also have the ability to dive into table of contents. So if you want to look at those revised statutes, I just clicked on that table of contents. And now you can see, if you want to go into Title 13 of corporations, you can click into here and you not only see the title, the part, the chapter, but the individual areas. If you want to print these, you can select multiple of these, and you can download them in batch here at the top. So again, this will help save time while looking across this. Taking one step back, I did want to bring up, for those of you that maybe were on one of the original trainings that we had, as far as agency decisions go, we now have included the main workers' compensation decisions. So those originally were not included in Decisis, but again, based on some of the feedback that we had received from members, said that this was a very important title. You can access that here by going to Browse, and then you can select the main workers' compensation decisions and then go ahead and run your case. And it's only going to search for it within those decisions. So just quickly before I finish, I wanted to point out a few of the other agency decisions that are very popular. Both the patent decisions are on here, the BPAI and the P tab. Immigration, both precedent and non-precedent decisions are accessed often, as well as the Department of Labor Administrative Review Board decisions. So just wanted to bring awareness to these agency decisions that are available to you, that you can run searches across here through the browse functionality.
Thank you, Dan. We do have a couple of comments that have already come in.
Oh, sure.
And they seem to be on the technical side. Jason, do you want to just raise your issue directly?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Hi, Jason. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, yeah. So, Dan, I've noticed that when I search in Decisis, the citator icons don't appear next to the cases. And I contacted support and they said they were looking into the issue.
Yes, Jason, that's exactly what we would encourage you to do. I did see that ticket that was open. That's something that I look at personally every single day. I know our engineers are actively working on seeing what might have caused that. I may even reach out to you one-on-one after this to do some additional troubleshooting. That is not a widespread issue. The experience that you should experience when you're doing a search is just to see it here next to the case. Right. So you'll see if the case is cited, and what you're saying is you're not seeing that in yours, correct?
Right. I'm not seeing the shield or where it says cited or anything. Okay.
Yeah. That sounds like that's maybe something going on with maybe your ID or transformer. So we're working to get that fixed for you as quickly as possible.
I don't see, it doesn't appear in mine either.
Jeff, it's not on yours as well? Okay. Yes, thank you for that. And I'll have a follow-up this afternoon at the latest as to what might be causing that and getting that corrected.
This is the reason why, precisely the reason why we wanted to make sure that we have both programs available for this test period and for people to attend the training so that we can troubleshoot issues like this. And it looks like we had a question. Oh, it was from you, Jeff.
Yeah,
Sometimes when you attempt to enter through the link on the site, you receive a message saying the link is not currently available. How frequently does that happen, Jeff?
Every other day. I mean, I don't know what it is. So what I'll do is then I'll open up a separate window and go incognito, and then I'm able to enter that way. So I'm not sure. I don't have enough tech background to know why that would solve the problem, but it does happen quite frequently, maybe every other day. So I was wondering, is there a restriction on the time at which you access it? Because like, I think somebody mentioned earlier, I mean, I do litigation, so I often have the research tool open for hours at a time while I'm going back and forth looking at it. So I was wondering if maybe there was a time restriction.
There's not on our end. I don't know if the main state bar website, does it have a timeout on the state bar website?
I don't know the answer to that. I'll have to look into it. I know that I stay logged into the MSBA website pretty much all the time. Every once in a while I'll come in and I'm not logged in, but usually it just stays logged in for me. So I'd have to check on that myself, and I will do so.
So Jeff, it sounds like you're a person who's already using this quite a bit. So please keep us informed, and we'll resolve this issue. You're exactly the kind of person that we want to reach and use this successfully.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise it's great. I love it. I mean, I've used Westlaw in the past. I've used Lexis. I mean, it's very user friendly, and I even compared it with some Lexis searches. I'm very satisfied. Otherwise, it's only those two issues: the citator and then this potential issue with access. That's it.
Yeah, honestly, our hope is that people who in the past have been reluctant to use Fastcase or CaseMaker and are paying for a very expensive private service, like I do, like my law firm does, will experience this and maybe be able to save themselves a little bit of money once they realize they can rely on Decisis. Do other folks out there have questions they'd like to raise? You got Dan here right now. Angela?
I received a question in chat. It says, with regard to agency decisions, I don't see the Maine Public Utilities Commission. That is a database I refer to often on Fastcase. Is it on Decisis?
I believe that would be the Maine specific Public Utility Commission's cases.
Yes.
I don't believe we have those on there right now, but
okay.
I'll work on that as well.
I know that we recently had a question about workers' comp, and you guys were able to help with that. And we appreciate you doing it so quickly. So hopefully this is something else that we can address quickly as well.
Yeah, our goal is to make it so you're not losing anything going from one platform to the other.
And then someone said MLRB would be great too. I'm sorry, I don't know what that is.
Maine Labor Relations Board.
Oh, labor relations. Okay.
This is great. Do other folks have comments, questions? And keep in mind that we do have upcoming trainings that we've already mentioned.
Yep.
So if you do have any issues or problems, please call Angela, call myself. We want to hear from you. We're excited to roll this out and make sure it works great. Dan, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate it. I am going to, just for the benefit of the people on the call, go through the open seats we have on the Board of Governors. So there's an opportunity for the next year to join the Board of Governors. Honestly, it's a great experience. We do all of our meetings except two now at the summer and winter meeting by Zoom. So it doesn't matter where you are geographically located, you can do this, you can participate. Our board meetings, we have gotten much better at making them efficient and valuable, I think. So the time commitment is significant, but it's not like it's going to impact your life in a gigantic way. So let's see, we have seats, we have 2 open seats for Cumberland County. We have a seat for Sagadahoc and Lincoln, a seat for Androscoggin, and a seat for Somerset and Piscataquis. There's also at-large positions for in-house counsel. and the public service sector. So there is, the one thing you would have to do if you were interested in one of these seats is fill out a nominating petition. It's not hard to do. You only need to get how many signatures, Angela? 10?
10 for a district seat or at-large seat, yes.
And if you need help getting signatures, I'm available to help you as well. So,
and if you're in a district, the signatures need to be from MSBA members from your district. So if you're unsure of maybe who to contact, you can get in touch with me and I can help with that process.
And I've helped people in the past, so just let me know if you're interested and we'll find a way to get it done.
And one last plug, we just sent out the call for nominations not nominations, call for proposals for the Winter Bar Conference that's coming up in January.
Winter Bar Conference is going to be at the Westin Hotel, what I think of as the Eastland in downtown Portland. And the dates of that are January 25th.
Heather, help me.
Yes, the 25th through the 27th.
25th to 27th.
Mark it on your calendar, Dan.
Decisis will be there. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you in October at our next Bar Talk. Have a great day, everyone.